but we'll start with Monday Night Raw here. Show open with CM Punk and Gunther, which is, I'm getting real excited for SummerSlam. I'm not going to lie. Not only for the matches and the fun that they should be, but I'm going to get to go on to SC Maniacs post show for both nights and talk about my instant reactions of the show. So that should be fun too, because a lot of times I'll have some instant reactions night of and then think about it and kind of process and have a different opinion the next day. But this should be fun. I'm really excited for this show, though. I feel like this match, I don't know if it's going to close the first night. I mean, obviously you got to have John Cena and Cody Rhodes close the second night, but this match could be the night one closer unless one of the ladies matches is.
Maybe, I don't see anybody else taking over that spot.
So that's, I'm glad you said that, because that's how I think, but I could see CM Punk saying the Iyo, Rhea, and Naomi match deserves to be a main event and having that be you know what I mean? I could see
I don't like a three-way being in the main event.
I agree. And plus,
it doesn't matter women or guys. I just don't like it.
Right. No, I fully respect that, and I'm with you on that, especially for a title. Like, I get why the matches are set up the way they are. I mean, Naomi inserted herself at Evolution and did what she did, and it makes sense. But especially with how, like, this is one of those matches that pretty much everybody, like when CM Punk came back, it's almost like you put the list together, like when Cody left WWE, where there was like a list of who he wants to wrestle. When Punk came back, it was like, all right, who could he wrestle? Yeah, give me Dominic. Yeah, give me Gunther. There was a lot on that list, but if Gunther wasn't high on the list, he was, you're an insane person. And so, and they've waited long enough where they've made it work. And I know they did some house show matches and different stuff, and so they've worked together at least too. So I feel like they're going to put together just an absolute banger, and that match is going to be the match to determine, at least unless we find out some other information beforehand, of is Seth Rollins really hurt? Because if he doesn't cash in either during that match or like if Punk wins and the moment he gets the belt to celebrate, then Rollins cashes in. If that doesn't happen, he's really hurt. Because I feel like that was the storyline they were going to build to, was that Rollins was going to cash in. I think Punk was going to beat Gunther, win the title, and then Rollins was going to cash in instantly and beat it, so that Punk won, but he's not the champion. So
I still go back to the whole, there's been no surgery scheduled. There's nothing medically updated at all.
We've seen like one video that he's with his family. So
which I can walk on crutches still. I know what
exactly.
I'm
you know what I mean? Like having fun with your no, exactly. And that's why I say, unless we hear or see otherwise, until this match is going to determine my opinion on the Seth Rollins injury. Because
they might not just do it now because of that.
Which also, I really, damn it, you're right. Triple H is so good, but you know what? You've got a point. But either way, I'm excited for the match. But damn it, you're right though. Shit, that's how they work now. And I mean and honestly, like, I'm joking, like, damn it, but it's odd. Like, that's my favorite part of the new regime and new era, is how much they don't want secrecy. You don't hear, because even if you try to avoid the news sources, because I'm pretty good about having I'm blocked by most of the reporters, quote unquote, anyway. But I've got most of like the Observer. I don't have, I've got them muted, and I've got the word Fightful just muted from my X altogether. But it's one of those things where it's better when you don't know what's going to happen. When somebody comes, like Roman coming back on Monday, spoiler alert, but the end of the show, like stuff like that. It's better that way. Like, it's just so much more fun. Like CM Punk's original return at Survivor Series a couple years. It was an incredible moment. It's just better that way. But
100%.
Yeah, no, but this is a good promo. It was cool how they let Gunther get the last word and have CM Punk just kind of look scared, which I think is good. I think it's a great storyline. I think that's how it's going to work. I think CM Punk's going to be the obvious underdog in this match, and they're going to show why he's, why he calls himself the best in the world. He's going to sell his ass
in my typical fandom, I don't get excited till like the week of. Like, I'm not excited for SummerSlam in the least bit yet, but I will be.
Yeah, I was going to say, it comes up quick, though, because, we got this. I feel like we talked about going into, July and August. This weekend coming up is the one weekend that's like, oh, there's not shows. Okay, you take a breath. Speaking of things you can't take a breath during, though, they had another Sheamus and Rusev match. Jesus Christ, these two beat the snot out of each other every time. Like, they're fun matches. I'm happy to watch them. It's just like, good Lord, these two, like, just the whole time where you just hear the and the
but what are they gonna do when they're not fighting each other?
They're gonna have to tag up. Like I feel like that's it's one of those things where it's like one of those old movie styles tropes where they just keep beating each other up, and it's like, oh well, I guess we're gonna team up. You know what I mean? Like that kind of. I mean, I don't know what else you can do with them.
Yeah, you can't. They're just too
right.
big.
But I think the storyline was that Sheamus had either never gotten a win off of Rusev or hadn't gotten one off of him in X amount of time or whatever. So that was why they had him. He had to get the win. But I think that's where it's going to go is them tagging up, which, bad news for the tag division. I would not. That seems like a tag team that I would just want to, hard pass on. But no, we're good. Thanks, but no. Which, speaking of,
the problem is though they don't have any natural tag teams.
They really
Very
don't.
few.
I mean,
they have.
Yeah, I feel like SmackDown's got some better ones. With like the Street Profits are good. DIY. Gargano's annoying, but like they're good for what they are as a tag team. Like you don't want to put the belts in those guys, but they're good fodder. And then Motor City Machine Guns are good. They're enjoyable, but there's, I like the team of Andrade and Rey Fenix has been more fun than I expected them to be, but you got to have a point. But the Raw division, I mean, you've got the New Day, but I feel like they still fumbled the crap out of them.
Yeah, you've mentioned no main event talent at all.
No, for sure. No, I mean that is a very valid point. And honestly, going into the next matchup here where they had the LWO versus New Day versus Creed Brothers to be the number one contender for the tag team. It's kind of like, okay, even for whoever wins that match, like, are you that excited about to be facing for the tag titles against
they're just
Judgment Day?
Funk with the tag teams, man.
You're right. Yeah. It's been one of the few kind of and it's one of the situations that I know Triple H likes tag team wrestling. It's just I just feel like it just hasn't clicked. There's times where there's good things that they do. There's been great tag matches. There's been great tag moments. There just hasn't been anything that you really sink your teeth into, like you said, in the main event level, which, I mean, maybe because of the main event scenes for the main titles right now, you've got to have, stuff for the upper to the mid card, but it just hasn't been that exciting. And I kind of figured, I mean, obviously that for this match made the most sense to have LWO win because they were the only real baby faces in the match and they're facing Judgment Day. And still at this point, they are heels. And, Finn is making sure they stay heels with the stuff of messing with Dominic and Roxanne Perez and Liv and stuff. I feel like he's trying to make sure he stays heel because the Dom's the one who's going to turn babyface eventually, but is what it is.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's definitely coming. I'm excited to see what happens when Liv returns, but we'll see. So I hope Becky still continues to do the red and yellow, Becky Hogan looks, but we'll see what happens. Maybe she does something super special at SummerSlam as more of a tribute now to Hogan because, I feel like ever since the Becky Hogan stuff started on Twitter, she's been like, oh, is that what it is? Well, fuck you then. And it's been right in the red and yellow, but
I don't know if that's going to be going over. So
yeah, we'll see how that, you're right. Oh yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it's a good thing. Like, I feel like Lyra has to win this match almost. They've built her up and people are more interested in her storylines than ever before, where I feel like if she loses here, it's where the hell does she go from there? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like at least
they've done a really good. Becky's done above and beyond the Call of Duty trying this thing. So.
And Bayley's helped out too, where she had with being interjecting in where she has, but they had Bayley kind of lose and fall off of this because from what I've seen and what I hear, at least I don't follow it too closely, but Bayley's been bantering back and forth on Twitter with Cardi B, who's the host of SummerSlam. So I assume Bayley's going to be doing something with her. I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna be, but we'll see. Just kind of funny.
Cardi B and Jelly Roll tag up for a mixed tag team match.
Oh God. I mean, hey, I am the jury for. I am waiting to see where Jelly Roll is able to do because I feel like he sees what Bad Bunny and Logan Paul did, but I'm optimistic, but we'll see. We will see how that goes. It's the best I can say for that
gutsy move. It's a gutsy
move. It is. Now, granted, I mean, he's in there with two very seasoned ring generals and a guy who picked this up real quickly, and it has shown a great talent for this. And I'm sure that, like, as Jelly Roll said, he's been in the PC, you know, from open to close. I'm sure they've run through this match already, and they're going to continue from now until SummerSlam, run through it like 3 times a day, if not more, until they've got it down. You know, until he has it down. I feel like Randy and Drew have it down in their sleep, but
yeah, they got to.
Yeah. Now the women's tag division, I feel like, has picked up, and at least I'm excited about what they've been doing with, you know, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Have, you know, Raquel's kind of been the leader now, as where Liv was the leader and Roxanne was, or Raquel was like her backup in the heavy. This has been more with Raquel being the leader and kind of mentoring Roxanne, which has been fun. And I'm really excited. I don't know exactly when Liv comes back, but damn it, that's going to be some really interesting stuff with this, especially if they keep the belts on these two, which I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
She won't be back for quite some time yet, so
right. Here. That's a good point. Maybe they could lose him and would get him back. That is a good point. Although, is there a point where they can bring her back where she doesn't have to be physical? I'm not sure.
Bring her back anytime. They could have brought her back yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think there's
not a matter of
that. Travel. Yeah, that's a good point. I think there's a point where
shouldn't be. The only thing they really shouldn't do, if she's obviously out of surgery and stuff, you don't want to fly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a point where the travel is it like when the travel, like, that's why if Seth is really hurt, people are like, oh, you could have him do like the Bret Hart stuff where he's in the wheelchair and stuff. It's like, there's a point where the travel is an issue, and then a point where you're in your recovery where it's not as much of an issue. You've got to wait till then, especially these days, you know, with everybody's health being super important and everything. But, well, it's always been important, but now the company actually gives a shit, and as they should. The next match was fun, with seeing Karrion Kross kind of actually getting, you know, like, I feel like it was a couple weeks ago where you were like, they got to do something with Kross, and I kept thinking, I'm like, they pulled the trigger. They're just letting it slow burn with him doing his online stuff, and he was eventually going to end. The stuff with Sammy's been cool. I feel like it's going to lead to him turning Sammy. I'm not sure, but I enjoy everything he's been doing for the last 6 months. I want to say maybe more. I don't know. But
yeah, he's something else, boy. I tell you,
he really is. You see how talented he really. I mean, that NXT run that he had, and then I didn't watch Lucha Underground live. I remember watching it. It wasn't during the pandemic, but like it was after. It was like, you know, when things were coming back to the world, but you weren't still doing much. And I remember enjoying it, you know, and then realizing like, wait, that's the same guy. And like, he's very talented.
Plus, he does a great Jesse the Body Ventura impression.
Oh my God, he does
the best.
Yeah. I was going to say, of all the people who do it, and that, I mean, Will Sasso's is good. No, Karrion Kross is the best. Now, Will Sasso does a bunch of impressions. Some of them are able to, like, Karrion Kross is like a very specific and amazing Jesse the Body down the Baja. It's good stuff, man. I love it. You know, the next match, the next match.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, what's up?
They're finally getting Scarlett involved.
Yes,
finally,
as she needs to be.
Which would mean she tripped up. You know, she was involved in the match, actually, which I like. Finally,
I mean, look, she got bloody. Her face is bloody. I mean,
because she kissed him. That's so.
Yeah, I know. But I just say, like, she's
involved in the match, like an actual heel manager supposed to do.
Right.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, and
what a concept.
And the thing is, she's been trained and has done it long enough to like it's not like it's one of those things where it looks like she knows what she's doing out there. Is my point. Like but she hasn't been able to do anything. Now finally we get to see something. Which is cool. No, I feel like that. And I feel like that's also one of those things too, where I said it a long time ago, where like, I feel like Triple H has conversations with certain people where it's like, look, I can only push everybody at certain times, but when I push you, when you have the chance, I will. Like, you're not going to get really. And like Bronson Reed was that prime example where they did nothing with him for however long. And then they had him murder Seth Rollins. And then for like 6 weeks straight, just murder somebody else. And then all of a sudden, hey, he's a big star. And then he joined the Bloodline. And he broke his foot, obviously, and it all went to shit for him. But then he came back and you still knew who he was and he was over. And I think that's where Kross is. Like, we're going to push you that right way. Like, you'll be fine. And, you know, it's starting to pay off. And I'm excited to see what he does every week.
Here's the only problem with this.
What's up?
The fans like him.
That's a good
point.
You
know what I mean? The fans
That's
like,
a valid point.
He's a heel. You're not supposed to cheer the heel.
It's a good point. Now, I can't control it.
It's gonna get. I'm sorry. I don't like this new concept of everybody gets a cheer. Everybody cheers. Cheer for the heel. Sing the heel song. The heel does something. Yay. Oh my goodness. Boo and cheer. Good guy, bad guy. That's how this is supposed to work.
Wholeheartedly agree with you. And when I go to shows, I've been to 2 this year, which is why, hey, I feel like I'm allowed to say certain things as a fan. I'm a paying customer. Even if I do like the guy, like I'm going to boo, like I have made no qualms about it that I am very much a fan of John Cena and who he is and what is working. And when he came out at Monday Night Raw and when I went in June, boo this man. Like, of course you boo the heels, you cheer the baby faces, it's part of that. But and I feel like there's points where they do it right. Like, obviously, like not as much anymore, but like when Dominic was getting booed out of his mind every time he's tried to speak, like they can, but yeah, no, I mean, I get it because Cross is great at what he does, and maybe they'll make it where he turns people heel, but I don't know. We'll see how they go with it, but I feel like
I like his talent. He's a great talent. I just don't like the fact that people are cheering him. That's all.
I fully understand that, and I agree with you on it. Like, yeah, no, you're a little more old school than me, but we're both pretty old school in those fashions with it. I agree. Now the next match, the main event match, not the main event segment, but the main event match, which I thought was great, and it was fun for when it went through, and then what happened afterwards. But Iyo Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. Man, they fully believe in Stephanie Vaquer. She is getting pushed to the moon, man. She gets to wrestle. She's in big segments. She's got a title match. Like, yeah, she has gotten herself way the hell over. Now, not nearly as over as Miss Rhea Ripley when she comes out, but you know, it was a fun match. There was fun segments, and then Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis guy. I always get the name wrong. I always want to call him the CIA because that was the nickname I came up with, but it's the Secret Hervis. They came out and caused issues, and and then Naomi came out and kicked Iyo into Stephanie Vaquer and knocked her out of the ring, and you know the heels were getting over until Rhea's music hit, and from what I noticed, from what I would say, the biggest pop of the night, which she seems to get every time she comes out, which is insane when you think about who was all on this card with, you know, CM Punk and
there was one very good detail I picked up on him.
What's up?
Match.
Oh,
when Rhea Ripley's music hit, Naomi looked at the screen and then continued to do the beatdown as opposed to stop and look and wait for the person to walk in. I hate that too.
Yeah, you can get startled for a second and be like, "Oh shit," but then go back to like and like be fast with it. Start attacking quickly because the person's coming out. Yes, I fully agree. That's
exactly what Naomi's
did.
I was applauding that because I even made mention of it. I'm like, look, anybody else noticed what she just did?
My mention of it was like, you know, she's been awesome this entire heel run. And Corey Graves at one point, he was like, Naomi is a menace, and I feel like that's been what this heel gimmick has been.
It's a little detail though that people
that not everybody notices it, but if you do notice it, it really helps and it makes it like again, like I always say, we all know it's fake, but they shouldn't act like we know it's fake. Like, God damn it. You know, like it's, you know, when you go to a play, like I went to my wife's big into theater. We went to a show on Tuesday, and like, you know, the show was cheesy at certain parts, but the actors, they were all in on it. They weren't half-assing it. You know, it's a big difference with it. Also too, shout out to Corey Graves. I don't know if this is a hot take, but he's better than Pat McAfee. Like, he's better in this role. Like, I know McAfee and Cole are buddies, and McAfee can be fun. I feel like McAfee should be saved for, like, Saturday Night's Main Events and maybe, like, certain PLEs, but, like, weekly on Raw, like, Graves helps move the storylines along. Like, Graves knows what to say and what to bring about, for what to say about people and, like, to bring out the best parts of their character. Like, he's just, I don't know. It's been great to have him back, I guess. I don't know. I like the guy a lot. I think he's great.
You got to give him some decaf. That's his problem. Seriously.
You know, you got a point. Yeah,
he's too excited. When he's just normal Pat McAfee and stuff, he's fine. He's perfect.
Yeah, you're right. No, but
when he gets all jacked up, he just loses control and he's yelling and screaming and yeeting and bobbing and weaving and fuck me, dude.
It's this like the yeeting. I don't even mind so much. There's parts of it that are okay, but like, when it's the entire, like, I feel like he's tuned up to 11 the entire time. Like, you got to go back to like a 5 to 6 sometimes with it. Yeah. And like the script, you know, he always talks about on his show, and I don't know if it's legal in his state, but about like, you know, medicinal marijuana and talking about like gummies. And so it's like, you know, whatever you need to take to make you less crazy, like whatever brand or whatever, I don't know what you need, but switch the strain. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, you're right. Like just tone it down a little bit because he can be fine. But Graves has been awesome this entire time since he's been back on Raw. And I feel like that's where he shines. Like he was decent as a lead commentator and he probably could have grown into it, but he's a better color commentator.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah. And I feel like there was good parts to that for it. Then the main event segment of the evening was Seth Rollins' group. I still don't know if they have a name yet. And Roman Reigns came out, which was great. I thought it was awesome where Paul starts talking and then Roman's using it and you just see him go, God damn it. Heyman's facial expressions they're unmatched. But I mean, this segment was a lot of fun. You know, Roman cutting the promo and telling you know, he's a big boy over there to Breakker. But for me, I thought the breakout moment of the entire, I thought Braun's promo was better than Roman's. I thought Braun was grab the mic and like, instead of having that moment where you kind of shrink under the lights, like I felt like he shined. I thought it was awesome. I thought this whole segment was great. I don't know, like, you know, until they start, you know, attacking him and beating him up. But until then, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought,
Braun I'm not going to say he did better than Roman, but
I felt like okay.
He was in a spot. I mean, that's his first time we ever get to see him one-on-one with a big player. So I expected
that. He didn't shrink, and that was
no. Look who his family is. Jesus,
right? Exactly. Yeah. Steers that valid point. Thank you. I feel like if you have your uncle go back and forth and you yell at promos, you're gonna get some balls back. But no, it's fun. There was a couple of these Roman said where he's like, you know, Paul didn't make the tribal chief. I'm like, I kind of did though. Like, I don't know. For me, I feel like that moment where the camera was on Roman and Adam Pearce and then panned to Paul Heyman next to Roman, like that changed everything. And, you know, and I feel like, you know, Roman knows that, they say it, but he's got to, you know, talk some shit to Heyman. But I thought it was great fun where they start to beat up on Roman. The crowd starts yeeting. You know, people are talking like, oh, it's going to be Roman versus Braun at SummerSlam. It's, calm down, everybody. You can't do that yet. You don't need to do that yet. Do the tag match. Roman and Jey versus the Bron brothers. Like, that's going to be perfect. And then you get your moments where they can wrestle against each other, but you don't have to, like, blow your wad yet. Let's wait. I mean, I feel like it should probably be a WrestleMania match, but this is a perfect tag match. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like certain people, I saw this one coming. Yeah, that's that. Thank you. I thought you could. I don't know. I saw a lot of people, and I don't know, maybe it was the algorithm trying to fuck with me or something, but I saw a lot of people on X and other places being like, oh yeah, it's going to be Roman versus Bron Breakker at SummerSlam. And
but you can see where they would think it. I mean, it makes sense.
I can. I just feel like that's people wanting to rush things. That's that modern generation of the instant gratification and that's not wrestling. The good storytelling and good wrestling storytelling and good booking is building to things. Like, you get what you need out of it from this match as opposed to wasting the singles match. And that's why it's exciting. Plus it gets Jey and Bronson Reed on the card, and I'm really, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, Roman picking up Bronson Reed too and giving him the Samoan drop was like a nice, like, oh yeah, no, he's got that. He's still he's a beast, guys. He's going to be good. I'm excited for that though. That should be like that. These are reasons why I'm getting excited for SummerSlam, because the matches are kind of, you know, getting set in stone with.
Yeah, they're getting there. I'm not excited yet though. I'll be there sure.
That's fine. That's good. I don't know. This picture pumped me. I don't know. This got me excited. I don't know. I'm pumped for it. But, you know, Cousins and Seth Rollins group. I mean, I guess Seth could come back and mess with this match too. But I feel like it's the Punk and Gunther match for sure. But that was Monday Night Raw. You know, I definitely enjoyed it. I'll say it was a good episode overall. I think it was like the perfect almost go home show, you know, because I mean, I guess really next Monday is the go home Raw, which is fucking insane. Yeah, no, it was fun though.